make a note to put their screens into screen in order to...
You are live, Ayabonga.
Yes, everything else is...
You are live, Ayabonga, so you can please start. Take us away.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, I guess in particular, a particular welcome to some of our students who are joining us for this third day. My name is Ayabonga Tawe. I'm a development economist and a broadcaster, and I'm also a sessional lecturer at the University of the Witwatersrand. And it's great to have you all on the platform with us for the third day of these sessions. I'm told that the first few days or so have been very engaging and very fascinating. We certainly hope that this third day as well will also give us much of what we've seen in the first day. We also do know, of course, that this day is probably going to be a bit more, I guess, of the theoretical parts. We know in the first 2 days that we've had the opportunity to take a deep dive into some of the institutional and governance issues. We've also taken a look at the distributional impacts and consequences of COVID-19. We've also had an opportunity to receive some presentations from, provincial level and also regional level as well, and also from multilateral organizations as well. And really a big part of this is about thinking about the implications of the pandemic, which is something we'll continue to pick up today, where we're going to be taking a look at what the impact of the pandemic has been for particular sectors of the South African economy. We'll have a chance to look at agriculture, tourism, and we'll also have a chance to look at some of the theoretical and modeling questions that the pandemic has thrown up, and the implications of that for planning, but also for policy, because a big part of this winter school is really about bringing much of what we're learning in our classrooms, much of what we're learning from a theoretical perspective, and bringing that into life for many of you, future policymakers. So that's what we'll have today, and it gives me a real pleasure to be your facilitator for much of this morning. We're going to be having an opportunity to get some very thoroughgoing presentations and reflections from our high-powered panel, and I'll tell you a bit more about them and who they are as we go into the sessions. We also do have this afternoon the student debate, and many of you would be familiar and aware and geared up and ready for that. We look forward to the 6 debating groups and what they're going to be placing on the table. There's also a poll at the end of every session, and I encourage all of you to make sure that you fill out that poll. And we also have a survey, which is going to be up in the reception room, I understand. I stand to be corrected, but we do have a survey of the entire experience of this winter school, and we'd love to hear from you how we can, make sure that these experiences are much better going forward. So certainly do feel free to fill out that survey. It's in the reception area. And also, we do know that today being the last day, that there's also an opportunity for some of you to get some prizes. And we'll have some student prizes. We'll also have some prizes for the students that have been most active on social media. And many of us who might not have been able to join the first few sessions have been able to get a sense of what's been happening in these discussions through the very lively tweets that have been shared from these discussions. So thank you very much for that. And we also have a prize for the one student who's been present for all of our sessions. So that's what we have coming up. And of course, we like this to be interactive. We'd love to hear from you through the chat function. And I'll certainly take a look at some of the questions that are coming through there, and also make some opportunity for any burning questions that might come from any of the sessions that we might have today. So without taking up too much time, because I know you're not here to listen to me, but I guess to listen to the very insightful and thoroughgoing discussions that we're going to have this morning. And I'd like us, just as we kick off, to maybe potentially give, 5 minutes extra time to Professor Rob Davies and Sherwin Gabriel. And let me maybe, just as we start, introduce the pair of them who are going to be giving us some discussions as we kick things off this morning around modeling the impacts and the implications of COVID-19 on the South African economy. particularly looking at multipliers and how upstream and downstream linkages in the economy can be impacted by COVID-19, as we've seen, with all of the restrictions, be it on trade and mobility, that have come with the pandemic. And more importantly, I guess, how many of these predictions often differ from reality as it unfolds in our economy. So let me start by introducing, I guess, Professor Rob Davies. He's a Zimbabwean economist living in Harare. He is currently a research fellow at the Trade and Industrial Policy Strategies TIPS in Pretoria, and is also a director of the Trade Law Center and research associate in the School of Finance and Management at SOAS. That's the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London. And he was formerly chair of the Department of Economics at the University of Zimbabwe. His most recent work is certainly, I guess, in line with what he's going to be talking to us about, has been modeling the impact of COVID-19, the economic impact of COVID-19 in South Africa. And he currently provides advice on capacity enhancement to the National Treasury in South Africa. Professor Davies will also be joined by Sherwin Gabriel, who works as part of the Global Futures and Strategic Foresight team, and working in the Micronutrient Action Policy Support Project, the MAPS project. And Sherwin also is involved in economic policy research work in South Africa as part of the SATIED program. That's the Southern African Towards Inclusive Economic Development Program. And Sherwin holds a master's degree in economics from the University of Pretoria and has worked on an economy-wide simulation and modeling since 2009. So let me hand over to Professor Rob Davies and to Sherwin to talk us through some discussions on modeling the impact of COVID-19 in the South African economy, and I guess how multipliers and upstream and downstream linkages help us to better understand some of the interrelationships between different parts of our economy and how those are impacted by a shock such as COVID-19. So Professor Rob and Sherwin, the platform is yours.